Hello. Well, on February the 15th, Robert Duvall died at age 95. You know, great career, spawned many decades, and has been in some of the best films ever made. Some of which I have talked about, like the Godfather films, The Conversation, Apocalypse Now, which were all made with Coppola. THX 1138, George Lucas's first film. He was the lead in that. Um, he was in MASH. Um, and the film that I'm going to talk about today, he was the lead in and also co-produced this film, Tender Mercies. And on the back here, it does a very good job of summarizing the film from director Bruce uh, Beresford, acclaimed director of Breaker Marion, Crimes of the Heart, and Driving Miss Daisy, and Heart and Foot, the legendary writer of To Kill a Mockingbird, Baby the Rain Must Fall, and The Trip to Bountiful, comes his classic drama starring screen great Robert Duvall in his once of a lifetime performance. In a once of a lifetime performance, Max Sledge Duvall is an alcoholic drifter who comes to into a life of a lonely widow by Tess Harper, whose name is Tess Harper, and her young son in the barren flatlands of Texas. But Mac is revealed to be a once famous country singer, and he must confront a painful past that includes his better superstar ex-wife, played by Betty Buckley, and troubled daughter, played by Ellen Barkin. While facing an unforeseen or uncertain future that may only be redeemed by a simple power of love, Tender Mercies won 2 Academy Awards: Best Original Screenplay for Horton Foote and Best Actor for Robert Duvall, and was nominated for 3 other Oscars, including Best Picture and Director, and with a stellar supporting cast including Wilford Brimley, Lenny Von Dillon, and Paul Gleason. And Tender Mercies is a movie experience of uncommon grace and dignity, and this release is from Keen Old Warber, and it has a commentary, documentary about the making of the film, and trailers. And yeah, this is a very good film. I saw it years ago on TCM. Pretty sure around the time for the Oscars. And yeah, in the beginning, you see Mac. He's just he's drinking quite a bit, and then he can't pay to stay at the little motel that's near the home by Tess Harper's character, and she allows him to work off his debt. And after a while, they become close, and then they get married. And her son, he's often picked on at school because his father died in Vietnam, and he never knew him. And they don't know exactly what happened because they don't know the day because he had been gone for a while, and there have been some battles around the area he was found in, and And also a possibility is he could have just been walking around, though why he would just be walking around out there would doesn't necessarily make sense unless he was like on some sort of patrol and then he got killed by like a sniper or somebody. Um, but yeah, this is a film that when it came out, it didn't do very well. This was released by Universal, and in the documentary, Tess Harper said that from what she recalls, Universal pretty much put all the money for marketing, well, or at least most of the marketing, to be correct, into the promotion of Scarface. That film was so huge. They needed to make sure that movie made its money back. And so a film like Tender Mercies just kind of came and went. And then when it got nominated for the Academy Awards, everyone was shocked because it came out fairly early in 1983. And usually by that time, films like this, especially those, didn't get a whole lot of promotion. It was looked at very fondly by critics, but, box office wise, it just kind of came and went. And, but, obviously, this did pretty well in the end, winning two Oscars, including Duvall's only Academy Award winning performance. And he does a very good job. He also played the guitar and he sang. He did his own singing, and that was something he made sure um, to include because he figured there's no point in him doing it if he can't, proper, sing. And also on the, you can, which I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna flip have the other side of this to have the other, yeah, like the cover, just because I think it kind of looks cool, personally. And Wilford Brimley plays the manager of his ex-wife, and it's a very good film. It does get sad at the end, but yeah, it looks there's some sadness to this film. By the end of the film, and it's like, well, will they? Is there going to be anything hopeful at the end? And it seems like there will be, but it ends on a note where it's fairly positive, even though everything up to that point it's kind of sad because it's a very good characters driven film, and you obviously he has quite a bit of demons, and both Mac and his stepson they get baptized in the film, and yeah, I mentioned Wilford Brimley, and that's because he and Robert Duvall were good friends for quite some time, and it's thanks to Duvall he got to be in the film. And the director was unsure about Wilford because he's a bit older, but he did a good job, and so at the end of the day he's like, all right, it's fine. But yeah, I haven't seen too many of Bruce Beresford films. I saw Driving Miss Daisy, but not the other two films. But I should probably watch those, but at some point. But yeah, so far I haven't. But yeah, I remember watching Driving Miss Daisy years ago. That's a fine film. I mean, of course, there are people who like, there's other movies that should have like won awards and stuff that year, which obviously you could say that for really any movie or of any given year these days. But I also thought, for like Pacino in Scarface, he should have been nominated at least for Best Actor. Whether he would have won against Robert Duvall, I don't know. Of course, also it's like Robert Duvall had been acting for a long time. Gotten This was his fourth nomination, and so he finally wins. And of all those who were nominated alongside him, I think this was a deserved win. Um, but yeah, this is a pretty good movie. Might not be his best, perhaps, but in terms of just film, people will probably say, Godfather, Godfather 2, um, Apocalypse Now, maybe MASH. But this is a good film. And Robert Duvall was an excellent actor. And it's definitely something, this is definitely a film that is worth watching. At least once. And this wasn't too expensive, so if you can find it like on Amazon, pretty affordable. Or Kino Lorber, it's like under $20. So yeah. Anyway, I hope you're all doing well. And then there's a drawing of the area you live in and little motels on either side for the rooms. But yeah, if you've never watched this before, you're a fan of Robert Duvall, say give this a watch. And yeah. And Tess Harper, these days she's probably remembered for playing Jesse Pinkman's mom on Breaking Bad. So if you've never watched this film or maybe some of her other films, like she was in Silkwood, as it says here, it has for Robert Duvall, The Apostle and True Confessions. The Apostle, that was an excellent performance too by Duvall. Yeah, it was a very good film. But yeah. Yeah. Very good film. And everybody involved did an excellent job. Um, the guy the kid who was the son, he didn't really do much acting afterwards, but and in the documentary, he said he like became a guitar teacher because he loved to play. He loved the guitar when doing this movie and watching Duvall play the guitar, and so he turned 10 not long after filming this, and so when he went and had a party with like family and some friends, at his home. He and his dad went to get like pizza for a party, and then Robert Duvall came out of his bedroom and gave him a guitar, which he has to this day, and that meant a lot to him. So, well, interesting stuff like that when watching the behind the scenes, like the documentary, was really cool. And yeah, everybody involved in this was great. This was Ellen Barkin's like first theatrical film, and same with Tess Harper. And and the scene with when Mac and his daughter meet for the first time in years is that's a great scene. It just is. It's a very great scene. It's good. So hadn't seen each other for a long time. Last time, he was drunk. Apparently, he tried to, he would be like a violent drunk. But over the course of this film, we see he is better, which is nice. So yeah, have you seen Tender Mercies? Yes or yes, no? If you have, do you like it? Do you dislike it? I think it's all right. Yeah, I think this is a fine movie. I don't know where I would put this, like on a list of top films of 1983 myself, but this is definitely one that is very good. It's one that I think definitely deserves more recognition. And also, I'm not a huge country fan for music, but I mean, there are some people like Johnny Cash and like Willie Nelson. But overall, I'm not the biggest fan. But with films where they have it here and there where it's appropriate, I don't mind it so much. It just really depends. Also, the kind of song and also whatever film or show and how it's used. Sometimes movies and shows can sometimes they have a song, but then it's like it might be a good song, but it just doesn't fit. But yeah. And also, the director said there was a score for this at one point, but he got rid of it. Not because it was bad, but because it just kind of wasn't really necessary. Like, just had the songs and stuff be played throughout the film. Sort of like for a soundtrack, which I think helps. And I wonder what the film would have been like with a score, though. Something we won't, I guess, know, though. But yeah, this is a fine film, and yeah. Rest in peace, Robert Duvall. He shall be remembered for years and years, decades even. Definitely decades, because he was an excellent actor. And he had many memorable roles in films. And yeah. So with that, again, leave your comments and give your thoughts about this film if you've watched it. And hope all of you are doing well. Hope you're all having a great day. Hope you've all had a great week, and you'll have a great weekend. And March is coming, so hopefully, so far the first 2 months of 2026 has been good for you, and I hope the next month will be just as good, if not better. So I'll see you all next time. Please take care.